In this video, we will be identifying real parts and imaginary parts for complex numbers. And what we're going to do is think of these as breaking these apart into real and imaginary parts. So the first expression, 2 minus 3i, I'm going to think of that as 2 plus a negative 3 attached to the I. And the reason I want to do that is the 2 isn't attached to anything, it's real. So that's my real part. The negative 3 is attached to an I, which represents square root of negative 1, which is imaginary. So the imaginary part of this number is the negative 3. All right, let's do the second example, negative 3/10 I. In this case, it doesn't look like there's a real part, but you can always imagine a 0 as being the real part, even if it's not there. So your real part on this particular example is going to be 0. And your imaginary part is going to be the negative 3/10 because that is what is attached to the I. So there's your imaginary part. In the next example, you've got negative 2 plus 5i in the numerator and negative 4 in the denominator. And you can break that up into two different terms, two different fraction terms, negative 2 over negative 4 and 5 over negative 4, which is attached to the I. And then simplify these a little bit. Negative 2 over negative 4 simplifies to positive 1/2. And the negative in the denominator for the 5 over 4, bring that out to the side or you could put it up top. So that gives you a real part of 1/2 and an imaginary part of negative 5/4. And in the last example, we have square roots. So we have square root of 6 plus square root of 6i. That I is understood to be outside of the radical. It's not underneath it. So we're going to separate that into square root of 6 over 3 plus the square root of 6 over 3i. In this case, the real part and the imaginary part are exactly the same. The real part is square root of 6 over 3, and the imaginary part is square root of 6 over 3. So I'm going to give you 3 examples that you can think about and play with. Go ahead and pause the video and then you can come back and check your answers. All right, and here are the real and imaginary parts for these complex numbers. And you can check those, and I wish you luck as you continue your progress.